Fox and Friends has outdone themselves. They had a tire changing segment, apparently to try to prove their manhood. It's a really, really weird segment. Scott Brown was guest hosting with Brian Kilmeade. Of course, Elizabeth Hasselbeck was there. And they had retired Navy SEAL Derek Van Orden participate or give them a manhood test. And part one was tying a tie. And part two was changing a tire on a car. So they rented a car from, I believe it was Enterprise Car Rental. And it's just an absolute disaster, Lewis. Now, have you changed car tires before?
I have multiple times. Yeah, it's, I'm used to it, I guess.
Yeah, I've done it a bunch of times. It is a huge pain, especially if you have one of the jacks that doesn't lift the wheel enough. And so that you can't easily take off the lug nuts. You have to keep like removing and putting back in the, what do you call that thing? It's so funny. I've done it a million times. The wrench, right? The lug nut wrench.
Yeah. It's, I guess a wrench.
That's the biggest pain for me, where you have to like put it in and do a half turn and then it hits the ground. So you have to take it out and do it again. That's the biggest pain, but yes.
Tire iron.
Iron. Thank you, Lewis. So you'd think this isn't like a crazy thing to do, but apparently it was. Fox News, during a manhood test, during which you'll hear Elizabeth Hasselbeck play the role of the disabled female driver who just can't do anything to help herself. She needs the men to change the tire for her. They almost damaged the vehicle by letting it slip off of the jack. I mean, it's just a completely abortive attempt at changing a tire. It's pathetic. And apparently this is news programming. Let's take a look.
And we're going to get some work out of Congress this morning, sir. So you hit the jack.
We're going to change the tire.
We're going to change the tire. Brian, get on the lug.
Don't you want me to do the lugs first?
Yes, Brian, get on the lug.
Wait a second.
Okay.
No, you don't. You got to raise it a little bit first.
Okay, leave her there.
Okay,
So by the way,
Okay, hold what you got.
I had a lot of Twitter followers basically say that Elizabeth can do it better than both of us.
I don't know.
That's right.
I'm just in distress right now. My car is a flat tire. and
You're just in distress?
Yes, I'm so happy.
Call AAA.
These fine men have come to change the
Anytime now,
tire.
Brian. No pressure.
So what's important here that you guys understand is that
Okay, Brian.
being a man is not about what you are. It's about who you are.
Okay, so who
what
are
respect?
they?
In what
Based on
respect?
you're
These
saying.
guys right now happen to be helping someone who's in distress. This is what a man does, not just a male.
I love
Whoa,
it.
watch it, Brian.
Hold what you got. Hold what you got. Let's go ahead and jack it up. Keep
It's
going.
jacked. No, it's jacked. It's
Stop what
coming
you're doing,
off the
Brian.
jack.
Okay, so lug nuts are out.
Yeah,
We
watch
have
your
all of them
feet,
out?
Elizabeth.
Okay, I'll watch
No,
my
you're not going.
just
You're
leave
not
it there.
going. You're not going because it's
Go ahead.
Jack's falling.
Stop what you're doing.
Jack's falling?
Go ahead. Let it down again. No. Stop what you're doing.
No, Jack's
Let it
falling.
down.
There's
Jack's
a little bit of
falling.
teamwork going on right
This
here.
is amazing.
Jack's
gentlemen.
falling.
Never happened with Jeff Gordon.
It would not.
I bet you would appreciate this, Derek, because
Yes.
there's great communication.
I've never seen that,
between
actually.
Fine gentlemen.
It is
And that's a
fantastic that they're
lesson.
working
Never
together
put your
here.
feet under the car when you're doing this, by the way.
Right. And by the way, this
You
is
like
why I
the
have a
wheel
AAA
in the
card.
tire?
Right.
This is why I have a AAA card. Hi, I'm stuck.
In watching it, it's so obvious that the lug nuts come off so easily that they had been loosened to being like one turn on. I've never seen lug nuts come off so easily. I hope that everyone is really glad that a tiny piece of your cable TV subscription, if you have one, goes to pay for manhood tests, where Elizabeth Hasselbeck plays the damsel in distress on national Fox television. I mean, it is just, what are they doing?
It's odd. It's an odd show, and all I can say is I'm very happy to see these Fox and Friends hosts fail the manhood tests miserably. It really made me happy.
Yeah, I thought Scott Brown was like a supposedly manly man, whatever that means. I don't know, but I remember his supporters saying that when he would drive around in a truck in Massachusetts. I don't know if changing a tire even is one of the one of the things that a manly man does, but if it is, it seems as though Scott Brown has failed.
Yeah, if that equates to manhood, we can have that discussion. But according to Fox and Friends, it does, and so they failed.
I'd also love an explanation as to why it's assumed Elizabeth Hasselbeck would not be able to change the tire on her own if her car was disabled. I mean, I believe that Elizabeth Hasselbeck specifically wouldn't be able to because she just seems generally incompetent with regard to everything she discusses. But the idea that the woman would need men to change the tire is so ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't really think Elizabeth Hasselbeck can do anything, and so
We have
yeah.
a friend, Lewis, who would get, remember Lewis, I know you know who I'm thinking of. He would get flat tires, and he was a manly man by all outward appearances, and he would call his mom when we were like 18 and have her show up and change the tire, which she was able to do in like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you need to ask for help, and mom knows best, I guess.